Hey everyone, so it is summer and my work schedule is a little bit lighter than it normally is during the school year. And I guess I have a little bit more time to play. So in a fit of nostalgia, about 2 weeks ago, I decided to start working my way through the first season of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Yes, get it out of your system. Yes, Trekkie nerd, I get it, alright? But Deep Space Nine was a pretty cool show. It was really good. Whether you like science fiction or not, it was set on a space station. It featured a black commander, first time that was done on TV, and that was pretty cool. It dealt with really tough issues like race, ethnicity, disability, PTSD, stuff like that. And the special effects were pretty cool. Now, the first season aired in 1992, which makes this show almost 30 years old, and it blows my mind, because it can't possibly have been that long ago that I watched this show, but I guess it is. Time flies, huh? But you know what blew my mind even more was watching an episode last week called Babel. And it's about a virus that was planted on the space station as an act of sabotage, and it spreads rapidly. And soon, a lot of the inhabitants of the space station are infected, and the rest are, I kid you not, quarantined. They're confined to quarters. Kids can't go to school. Businesses are shut down, everybody's on edge, and the characters are looking for someone to blame, and people are starting to die, and extreme measures have to be taken. And so as I'm watching this, my jaw is literally dropped as I'm listening to these characters use some of the same exact words and phrases and behaving the exact same way that you and I have for the last 3 months. They say that life imitates art, don't they? It's absolutely true. Now, Star Trek is fiction, and we can turn it off, go back to our normal everyday lives. But there are some people who say that Christianity is also fiction. There are some scholars who say that Jesus never lived, that Nazareth wasn't even a real place 2,000 years ago, that the stories in the Bible are just made up, they're fiction, they're fairy tales. But here's the thing. I'm the history guy, you know that, and from a purely historical standpoint, from what can be verified using standard methods of historical study, Jesus is not fiction. The earliest writings that we have about Jesus were written between 25 and 40 years after his death, which means that they appeared during the lifetime of people who knew him, who saw him, who walked with him, and could also dispute what was written about him. But they didn't. The details contained in the Gospels, details like geography, culture, customs, historical events, match what historians know about first-century Palestine. And there are non-Christian authors from the first century, Romans, Jewish people, who mention Jesus, authors who have no reason to invent or pass along an untruth. In fact, from the non-Christian writings of Jesus that we have, no one in the ancient world questions whether he lived. So if you're going through this weird moment in history, and you're thinking it all just seems so unreal, it's like fiction, it's like a bad movie, take comfort and take confidence in the fact that Jesus Christ, the Son of God, lived, breathed, walked this earth that he made, and it is unshakable historical fact. And you can count on that.